Of course, the conversation does continue with my colleague Oliver, and he is joined then by political analyst Dr. Sithembile Mbete. And of course, Oliver, the conversation around voter turnout is already one that is something that we're monitoring very closely in terms of the implications of that and what we can track at this point in time, since South Africans have started crossing their ballots at 7 a.m. this morning. Over to you.
Yeah, I'm here with Dr. Sithembile Mbete, and we're going to continue that conversation. In fact, we're just under 5 hours, Dr. Mbete, before polls close in the country. By 11 o'clock this morning, the Deputy Commissioner tells us that we had passed the majority mark of votes being casted, of course, 27.7 million registered voters. The voters' roll is bigger this time around than ever before, right? In 2019, we had a voters' roll of around 26.7-ish million, right? Today we have a voters roll of 27.7, meaning just about 1 million voters were added to the voters roll since the 2019 elections. And also voter turnout will be greater than 2019 if the trend holds, according to the IEC Commissioner. What changed in the last 5 years? Because between 2014 and 2019 we saw a 10% drop in voter turnout. This time around we'll see an increase there. What changed in the last 5 years?
Look, I think that there's something about a competitive election, a contested election that raises voter turnout. We saw that in 2016, which is the local government election that's had the highest level of turnout ever since we started having local government elections in democracy. And that was because it seemed like there was genuine competition and, a chance that parties, that newer parties, that opposition parties were going to get enough of the vote to be able to win municipalities. And I think we're seeing a similar dynamic at play here, where this is a hotly contested election. There are lots of new players. And so I think for voters who feel like there are options now for them to vote for, or that they feel reinvigorated to vote for the party that they've always traditionally supported, the sense that there is competition, that there's contestation, incentivizes people to actually turn out and vote. And also, remember that we've had a lot of discussion, a lot of debate about this election. There's been so much going on social media, on traditional media sources, and I think that's something else that plays into really galvanizing people to turn out and vote. So those queues that we've seen, yes, there's some of them that are because of administrative things of the IEC, but there's also genuine interest and a lot of people that are wanting to go out and make themselves
Let's
heard.
talk about democratic interest that falls outside of the voting process. Earlier on, we received reports from the IEC Deputy Commissioner that 5 voting stations in the Eastern Cape had to open later than planned, not at 7 a.m. this morning. That's because community protests made it difficult. 5 voting stations in the Eastern Cape. Earlier on, one of our reporters, crossing live to us, told us that there was discontent in the community of Harry Smith, which is just outside of Clarence in the Free State, where the community said, you can do your thing, just don't use this community hall that we built with our money, with our labor, and our people did that. That too being a form of protest. Now, protest is a form of democratic participation, a constitutionally enshrined right. How do you reconcile people choosing not to vote on the day, but rather to protest, which is also expressing their voice? Ironic, but not.
Yeah, and I think that it points to whether people feel like they have options. If you consider the Eastern Cape, which is an ANC stronghold, what we've seen over the years is that when people get unhappy with the ANC's governance in the Eastern Cape, they don't vote for somebody else, they stay home.
Yeah. Can I pause you there, because I want to ask that question, why misgovernance leads to apathy?